Hello everyone, welcome to this fully set up here. Okay, got it all set up. And I hope everyone's been having a good Sunday. It is the community gameplay Sunday for City of Heroes. If you want to join me, I am on the Rebirth server. Play wherever you want to play. You can message me in game, or you can jump on Discord and let me know that you want to join. If you are going to join the group, I do ask that you jump into the Discord and be on Discord just so that you can hear the verbal commands of like where we're going, what we're doing, things like that, and go that direction. You do not need to speak in Discord. That's up to you, but if you do speak, be forewarned that your voice will be heard on the stream. So I'm going to jump up here. Jump into this mission here, which is where we left off last Sunday. There we go. I'm going to go this way first. Back up here, just see if there's, yep, there's some guys up here. Big group of guys up here. Bunch of damage to all of them at once. Why not? They're all around me. Do another one of these. Got him. Got that group. And let our endurance catch up on us. Then we will move on to getting these guys. As well, we don't want to be negative endurance. Yes, I know I have Ninja Run running, which takes a bunch of endurance, but I just love the stance. There we go. One person rescued and got a recipe out of that. Nice. I do. I'm gonna get this roamer. Definitely need to get endurance up. Now we got those roamers. Go fight blues here with whites. We have the minions, and we have the lieutenant there. See what's happening there. And go ahead. He's act. Turn that into that. Do another one of them. Make things move along a little bit quicker. I'll go ahead and take this. Got him down. Further away. So I'll have maybe 3 to deal with there. Did get another enhancement there. that. Take him on. One. Missed on that. Oh well. Mine range. Nope. Our range. Getting closer. Okay. Not gonna worry about the accuracy, so let's get us another. Those. That's this guy here. Oh, a white minion. I thought it was him. This missed. Oh no, get there. Group there. I'm gonna wait for my endurance to catch back up again. I would use a rest for that if this was on Homecoming or one of the other servers where rest doesn't have a cooldown. But on Thunder Spy, they kept it the original way where rest has an actual cooldown time. So you can't constantly use it whenever you want, making the game, in all honesty, in my mind, easy mode. Having rest on a cooldown means that you have to use rest sparingly. And I actually prefer it that way because it makes it a bit tougher of a game. Having rest, being able to use it whenever you want, like they have out on Homecoming, makes the game easier. Axe going. Excellent. Only got one of them. Pull the other. We got the endurance for it. Why not? Up to me. And a simple punch to knock him out. That was the door that was locked. Or we are. Purple and some yellows. So here's what I'm gonna do. Just gonna sit there. Nope, he's gonna chuck a grenade. There we go. Now I will use rest. Because I took a good bit of damage there. So why not use rest? We're about to get level 15. Really close to that. Should get in this mission, which will give us more slot points, which we'll use to probably enhance the endurance cost on our toggles. I think that'd be the smart move. Hurting a bit. Keeping an eye on health so I don't drop. I'm gonna stay far away. I'm gonna run up to him and hit. Go and rest. This is why, as you can see, we're still waiting on our rest. I should have held off on using the rest, because it has a long cooldown time. The one thing I do like that Homecoming did is they put big red numbers showing the time it takes for them to cool down, whether it's a couple seconds, 10, 20, like a minute and a half. It shows the time. I really like that visually because it lets me know a lot better of when that power is going to come back up. So that's the one thing Homecoming did do right. I still think that they should revert back to having a cooldown timer on the rest like Rebirth has, because it just adds more to the difficulty, and you got so many veteran players playing on Homecoming that they're up for the challenge. So, not that, let's see. Almost full. There. Nuke him with some fire blast. That. And there is 15. Excellent timing. Go clear out this room. Let's up our defenses. Nope, you don't get to go anywhere. We need to use a couple of those. He's downed. And he's down. Well, let's check the rest of this. Yep, we still have some guys here. We're going to take those guys out. We still have plenty of health. Let's run in here and do this. And of course we miss. That's all taken out. We got those 3 guys back there, and that looks to be it for this mission. I just want to clear it out completely. We'll naturally let our endurance come back up and go from there. I'm going to make a couple mentions of what I'm going to talk about right now in this live stream, so you may hear me bring it up later. So as many of you know, I'm working on a video game called Marpingo, which is a mix between miniature golf and pinball. And I've been spending the last year sort of figuring out what engine should I keep with Unity or keep with Unity or go down Unreal and stuff like that. Well, I've decided I'm going to stick with Unity, and I've been sort of catching myself up on the code and figuring out how to fix some of the issues since to get up to the latest version of Unity. And that takes me some time because, well, I'm not a coder. I'm an art side person. I do like UI art, texturing, 3D modeling, stuff like that, and then base game design stuff. I don't dive heavy into coding. And my roommate Zabby, who is a coder, I talked to them last night, and we're going to do a deal because they have some side projects that they're wanting to get work on, but they're not an artist. They're not the art side of things. They can do a little bit of art, just like I can do a little bit of code, but they're predominantly code. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a trade-off on an hour of me doing art. We'll get an hour of code from them. And so with that happening, hopefully starting next weekend, Zabby will be going through and cleaning up all the errors that are popping up in Marpingo with the new update, get those cleaned up. And at that time, I'm looking at how to work the camera when the ball's in movement. It is going to be sort of an on-rails thing. I normally don't like on-rails stuff, but for this it works because I want to keep the camera on the course. I don't want randomly following the ball with how the ball bounces around so much with all of the pinball stuff. It just causes a motion sickness. So by having the camera stick to a fixed point on a rail system, and then following the ball with a bit of delay and slower rotation movement, not quick jerky rotation movement, I got it to work really, really well. Unfortunately, the on-rail system I was using, I had bought, and that was in Unity 5.1 and 5.2, doesn't work with 5.6, so I have to create a whole entire new system for that. And so that's going to take some time. We're going to go King's Row. Do that. Let's find Metro. It's that way. So that what is it? The Marpingo game is code-wise is going to move along a lot quicker, and we'll get to a build quality that's decent for single player very quickly. And then multiplayer is the next big hurdle. Multiplayer is the biggest hurdle because you may need to do some deep recoding of some stuff. Excuse me. And that's really sort of important because I want this to be a multiplayer game. It's designed to be a multiplayer game. Hold on. Yeah, it's a return to content. So we do want to go to King's Row. So that's going to be very interesting and very fun. Mission here. We're going to wait for endurance. I don't want to be mid-air with teleport. Yeah, it hovers you for a moment on Rebirth. But then once that hovers over, you fall and you can take good chunks of damage that way. Ooh, someone's on Rebirth. I see them jumping around. I think I could get myself to those rooftops. There we go. Yes, a good, safe area. I don't think there's any. Oh, there's some. Oh, shit! It was safe until I fucked it up. uh... That was my own stupidity there. Okay, we're fighting Hellion. That guy's just gonna sit and watch his buddies get the snot kicked out of him. Now let's bring him into the fight. That's fine if the weaker one misses and the stronger one hits. Get some more endurance back. Oh, forgot to level up. We'll see what is it? Blue Steel, I think is his name. After this mission and get the endurance. Let's go here. Yeah, let's throw in the last of the endurance on these. That will really help out. I want to get to a level where I can respec and get rid of these. Maybe endurance. Oh, what we should do. Yeah, I want to do the endurance. Back up to... I saw some guys talking. No. Souls. That's full here. A little bit of overkill, that's okay. Okay. Get our endurance back and we'll get on these guys out. Got all three, nice. I knocked the one in the very back down. And there goes my powers. Take these accuracies. Future, just in case, have one of those. Get this up, just in case. Ninja run on. That we need to handle this fight that came to us. There we go. We'll go left for break our rule of always go right. choice. Get ourselves to full endurance. Start the fight. Oh, close to full endurance. He's down and out. Let's see what's in this room. First, we're gonna get endurance. There. Good. Oh, there's some guys there. Text bubbles. Okay. Punch will do it. Punch onto him. There we go. All of them taken out. We'll wait here until we get close to full endurance. I want to keep the one endurance I have, just in case we run into some problems. Don't want to be without endurance. All goes like hogging up a bunch. Good now. These guys. Got him. Just pull him alone. I did. Good. And of course, ragdoll issues there. Room. No, you don't. One up here, so we'll stay up here. Get our health back. We'll see what happens. Good enough endurance for now. We'll risk it. With the sledgehammer. How does it feel? Doesn't feel so good, does it? We'll get those guys, but I'm gonna wait for full endurance this time, just in case more show up or there's some around the corner I can't see. Go. Around us. He didn't stand a chance. Oh, we can take this, Lieutenant. Let me correct that. And they go running like cowards. Catch them though. Hit him. I want to get the rest of them. There we go. Okay, we got that one. Now we need to go see Blue Steel. Blue Steel. There's Blue Steel. I think we can make it. Got us on the ground. Just not going to take any fall damage. Pull up, train up. Yep. So let's do one here. Finish. Okay, on our way. There. Here. There. And we're done. Enhanced range, good for here. There. There we go. Go and sell. By the time any of those become of use, we'll about level them. Sell for the influence, get the influence off of those. So mission, Steel Canyon. map. Go. Simple, easy, done. 15, so we're on that edge. I think it's in the middle of the area anyway, so whether we go south or north. So just that. We would have been closer going north. Let's go ahead. Start teleporting our way. We have enough. Get down to here. Our endurance recover. I mean, heck, got a good chunk of the way there. I mean, we're halfway there almost. Yeah, we're past the halfway point of getting there, so get this mission done, turn in the missions, and grab some more missions. I think good enough. Go. Get our endurance back, then we'll jump into this one, which is an outdoor mission where we have to defend and place or find these areas, place down an object, defend the object. We got 3 of them to do. And there's going to be a bunch of arachnos in the area. An outdoor instance map. Be good. I've done this mission several times. Let's actually just enter in. And then get our endurance back while we're in. I'm not going to worry about cleaning everything out here. Basically going to hit the main areas. So I need to go here, talk to the person there. I got to go over here, then over there, and then over there. Enough as is. He can, yeah, fight back. Oh, finally he pulls out his gun to shoot back. Took him long enough. I'll wrap and punch him. Why not? Well. To talk to her if I remember correctly. Yep. All that. I'll run over here like I take this guy out. There we go. And before we do this, let's get our endurance to full, because we get a big group of guys coming in. We get 3 guys in each one that come in that are sort of like lieutenant minor boss types. So having full endurance is going to help us out. Go. Here. Him. Got him quickly, but we have the help of our 2 guys. Put this in. He didn't last a chance. We got that one done. Let's run over here. Get our endurance back. Take out these 3 and then we'll take out the 2 there. Place the object, or wait to get our endurance back at that point. Replace the object. Don't have to worry about health, so let's do an... Yeah, we'll recharge by... Down and out. We have 3 of those, so let's use this one. Give us enough endurance. Go here. There we go. Okay. Gonna wait for full endurance. Then we'll activate that, which will cause the few named lieutenant / mini bosses to pop out. Go from there. Gotta wait. I think we're good enough. Excellent. That worked out really, really well. Now we run over to this side. Yeah, why not? Excellent. The dot took him out. Couple just there. So works for me. Wait for endurance. Oh, this isn't the one where you place it. They're gonna talk with him, then there's gonna be a fight, and more of a fight, and when Manticore shows up, everything will be good and cool. That's one. Another. There's Manticore. Oh, he took care of it. Manticore would quit running around. I can target him. Moving. There we go. Done and done. So all those missions are complete. Let's do the turn-in of those 3 missions. Contacts. Call. Be introduced to a new contact. Call. Introduced to a new contact. Talk about something else. Let's do missions. Stop the gear war. Give. Let's start from the bottom. That's Skyway City. Both far away. So let's go with the one at the very bottom of the there. Run to here. Let's just start our teleport. Let's gain some endurance back while we're waiting on that. Here. We're on this. Merge that, put it to green. This is science. Yeah, that's attack rate. This is also attack rate. Attack rate. Good there. Turns back. Port to her. We'll be able to make it the entire way. Teleport down to there. That way we don't do the long fall. Available missions. Okay, we got that one done, and another one there. Gotta go across to the other side. Good endurance wise. Make it just barely gonna have to do a bit of walking, but that's okay. Use to contact. Okay, he's in Skyway. That. Okay, 10 Clockworks, Canyons. Let's just complete that. I don't feel like doing the 10 clock. Clear out the Clockworks in a warehouse I'm willing to do. I'm just given a mission to do street cleaning. I'm not a big fan of doing those because then you have to hunt down those specifics. So I prefer the ones where you if you're doing, street cleaning, you're doing it on your own. So street sweeping. We're going to start off in Atlas Park and work our way up. Atlas Park. And we'll do Steel Canyons and we'll do Fault Line. We'll flop those around. Mission. Park. Set task. Right to the door. For me? Don't know who's around the corner, so I'm gonna wait for full endurance and go from there. endurance. One more tick should have it. There we go. Nice, knock him down. And he's down and out. Don't think he hit me once. There we go. I think we have enough endurance to take this guy on. Hey there, Smokey. How's it going? I am doing really well. I am playing on the Rebirth server, working on getting this character to 50 because when I started this whole entire string of the community gameplay, I didn't have any characters that had on any of the servers that were level 50. Start off on Thunder Spy, got a character to level 50. Went over to Purgatory, got a character to level 50. Now I'm on Rebirth, working on this character, getting him to level 50. After this one, I'm going over to Freedom, working on a character, getting him to level 50. Then I'm going to go over to Homecoming, get a character to level 50. And then I'm going to go back over to Thunder Spy, pick a character, create a character, get him to 50. Stuff like that. But the reason I'm in a really good mood is the game I've been working on, Marpingo. I got a coder to come in, my roommate who's a programmer but been really busy with their job. We spoke last night and they have their own project that they're working on, but they don't have an artist. And so I'm going to do an hour of artwork for them for their game, and they're going to do an hour's worth of coding for my game. So I get a way better coder than I ever am. I'm bare bones understanding of coding. I can code in C# and learn the language and stuff like that, but it takes me a really long time, especially reading documentation because of my eye disability. So having someone who can read through and understand the documentation a lot quicker will make the workflow process a lot. Yep, gaming bartering. Well, see, the thing is my roommate is a college classmate from the game design course that I took in college. Because I got a bachelor's degree in digital entertainment and game design. And they were on the code side and I was on the art side. And so that's how I met them. We just started working together on projects. Started working together at Microsoft Game Studios as testers. Then became roommates because we both needed, a place to sort of live that was closer, because I was living out, like, what was it, 40 miles away from work, and it was taking me hours to get to work by bus. Because I don't drive, and they were out living in Salem, which is, hours away also by driving, because they did drive. And so we decided, why not get apartments together that was just 5 miles away from work. And that worked out well. And we've been roommates ever since, working on game ideas and stuff like that whenever they had the free time. we'd work on game ideas together. Hey, Sticky, how's it going? Finish this fight here real quick. Yeah, it is, and Sticky, that's the reason why I like cycling the majority of the way. I don't have to wait for public transportation. I don't have to spend the cost on public transportation. I just have to keep maintaining my bike and stuff like that. And with the bike, I get to cycle at my own pace. And especially with me taking like back roads and bike paths and stuff like that, I get a fairly relaxed ride. Every so often, I'm forced to ride on the main roads. And so that's not as fun, but still good. And if you guys are interested, I can actually show you guys a Marpingo, the game that I'm talking about that I'm working on, if you guys want to see that. Because I do have an old build of that when I was in the prototype to early alpha phases. Yeah, and people can say that, and my personal response to that is, okay, if you want me to drive, you have to understand that I have really bad eye-hand coordination. My reaction time is terrible because I have 2 disabilities that affect my eye-hand coordination. I have cerebral palsy and I have astigmatism. Both of those affect my reaction time. So if you slam on your brakes in front of me, I'm not going to react in time, and I'm going to smack into the back of you, causing an accident and someone can get hurt. I personally would rather be on the safe side so that no one gets hurt because of me and be cycling, because I can react quickly on a bike because the bike isn't going 30, 40, 60 miles an hour most of the time. Yes, I have gotten bikes up to those speeds, but that's going down a mountain. And that is going down a mountain with very little traffic. If there is a lot of traffic, I'm a lot more careful. Okay, excellent. So give me one moment here. Let me set some things up here real quick. Let me get the game up real quick first. Go here. So you're not going to see much movement going on in the game because I am actually pulling up Marpingo. This is the one I want. I'm checking because I have several builds. This is not the one I want. It doesn't show the game the best. There, we'll go. Android build on Android. It. Okay, this is it. So let me do a switch here. To flip over to this. Okay, so you see it here. You had to change the sound. Okay. So remember, this is prototype stage, so I don't have a back screen for this, and the buttons have changed. I'm going to go single player, new game. There is no terrain because in this one, I was just working out the base mechanics of this. And then also the scoreboard up in the upper right is going to change. And there's other art assets that have changed too, such as the slider. I'll show that one next. Oops. Collision physics error there. That's being worked on too. Once again, early stage prototype, as you saw, it works well there. And then all of the texture, all of the artwork is me. So like this fairway sort of like linen pool table top look and the wood look is mine. The shooter is a basic texture. I need to focus more on this and get the ball to the actual spot. Do this. That'll be good enough. Not quite. As you can see, there we go. I want to get to the bumpers so you guys can see the bumpers and stuff like that. See oh, I clicked the wrong thing. Give me a moment. There we go. That's not going to be enough. It's going to fall off the edge. Yep. But as you saw, the bumpers were moving. Let me do this. There we go. There's the bumper action. And sound effects aren't put in there. As you can see there. And let me pull up so I can see you guys saying stuff. There we go. Yeah, it's a sneak peek. Yep, and as you see, there's the score there. And then if I try and hit here, I think about there, I'll be good enough. Not enough, not enough, not enough. But then the score pops up. And because I'm over strokes on this one, because this is like a par 4 or par 5. Or no, this is a less par. It's par 3. So it took away points because I was over par. But then in my total score, so 150, so you just have to do retry level. But I want to show you guys a different build. So I'm going to exit this one. I'm going to back up to here. Back up to here. 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 And let's launch this one. Yeah, it is. So this is the background, once again, not worked on. But this is the new button style. These are all hand painted by me. I created these buttons. So I'm going to do single player, new game.
Hey, I'm Marble, and I have the task of teaching you the game. You're doing well so far, since you're the 1% that chose.
And then we actually built a tutorial.
The main game. For this level, we will teach you how to handle different turns and bank shots. Let's get started. Mar Pin Go is a mix between miniature golf and pinball. Instead of having a golf ball and a putter, you have a marball.
I still have to do the voice acting for this part because this is the developer talking.
Fine. Now, as I was saying before all the mites jumped in, you have a marble as your ball and a marble shooter as your putter. First thing you want to do is aim your shooter. To do that, just swipe left or right to turn the shooter the direction you want to aim it. See, it's so simple, DK could do it. Anyways, now that you have the shooter aimed, just pull down on the plunger bar in the lower right-hand corner, and when you let go, it'll fire a poor, innocent marble. You got it now. Just have fun and shoot your way to the end of the level, and try not to be mean to my marble friends. They are to me. I will hug them, pet them, and squeak. What? I'm Marball, and they are marbles. We are meant to be together.
There we go. So there's that, and as you can see, the textures change somewhat on this. It has more of a plastic look. You like that? Is that funny? That writing was for me, but it took a long time to write that script because I am no writer whatsoever. Not even close. It takes a while for me to sort of come up with writing ideas and things like that. Yeah, exactly. So the grass textures done by me, the tree textures, the trees, the rocks, the terrain put together. This is all done by me. And then this is the second version of the scoreboard, but I'm thinking of changing it up. And what I'm thinking of doing is I want to add more of a pinball feel to it because UI wise, we have this the slider for power set up to look like a pinball thing. So what I'm thinking of doing is putting right across here a banner that goes all the way across and giving it a background texture. So this red texture would actually be a graphics texture based on the course you're playing on. So if you're playing on like a haunted course or a Halloween course, it would have a Halloween graphics banner, just sort of like when you play like an X-Men pinball game. It has that little, all the details of X-Men splattered on the sides and stuff like that. I want to carry that across into this by doing a banner across here and then give it a digital display like this is here of the different numbers and stuff like that. Yeah, exactly. We want Marpingo is meant, or Marball is meant to argue with and break the fourth wall. So as you can see here, the plunger is a lot more detailed. And this one, I actually have to press the space bar because we were in the process of working on an Android build. And we had taken out sort of the on release for this. Now this. And this level just sort of teaches how angles and stuff like that work. Yep. Argue with the audience, argue with the creators. I remember the one where Daffy Duck and Bugs Bunny were being drawn in and you'd see the actual artist's hand with the pencil and they would interact with the pencil and you know they'd get erased and stuff like that. I remember stuff like that. Those are good timeless jokes. And so we're done with all the coring here. Now we're going to show the rounded corners and stuff like that I put in. So, yep, exactly. Well, and one of my favorite superheroes is Deadpool. So this one just sort of teaches you all about how to turn corners, and you notice that this isn't textured that well. This turning aroundness, the texture's off. I need to work on the texture of this and redo this. But I'm redoing all of these textures because like this wood texture is 500 pixels by 500 pixels. So it's not a high quality texture. I want to redo the texture to the was it the 4K textures. And then for the mobile version, I'm just going to take that 4K texture and shrink it down. The reason this is 500 textures by 500 is originally this was going to be a mobile only game. And then I came up with, wait a second, this doesn't have to be a mobile only game. I have the control schemes that could work on consoles, they can work on PCs and stuff like that. So you need to redo all of the textures so it will look good with the PC. Oh yeah, She-Hulk does a lot of fourth wall breaking too. So yeah, this is basically Marpingo. And you're going to see a lot more of it on my channel once I get multiplayer put in and some good courses put together and it looking nicer and updated to the new Unity 6, because this was originally made in Unity 5.2. And with Unity 6, they made some class changes, some syntax changes and stuff like that. And so updating that code, once that code's done and reworked, I'm going to start doing more videos on this and showing this off on the channel, along with, if you guys follow Adventures with Dread, you'll see that on her channel, because when multiplayer comes out, I'm going to be handing her and everyone that plays golf with your friends with her copies of the game for them to play multiplayer on that. But let's go ahead and let's switch back over to City of Heroes stuff. Let's get back into doing what we were doing. But I just thought I would just show you a bit of it. See what you guys think. I mean, what do you guys think of the art style? I know it looks a little bit like World of Warcraft art style, but that's the hand-painted texture art style. I did go different directions with things, such as the knots in the wood are not swirls. They are actual rings. And so it is sort of my own feel. I didn't want to do that whole entire swirl thing. I wanted a little bit more closer to realism and sort of to stand out different. Yeah, they are. And here's the thing. I don't want to focus on just mobile. I don't want to focus just on PC. Whatever the game I'm working on will work on, I want to put it on there. And Marpingo's design is set up to where it can work on mobile very nicely. The controls are very simple. It's basically on mobile, you swipe left and right to rotate the camera. To shoot, you just pull down on the plunger, let go, and it shoots it. Simple controls. Yeah, that's good. That's sort of what we're going for. I just want to update the art style before I really, or the quality of the art before I start showing things off, because the last time I showed off a game before the art was finished, even though in big bold red letters I stated this artwork is not finished, I'm just showing off for gameplay reasons, people still complained about the art. And that will always happen. People will always complain about the art, even when you tell them that, look, this is prototype, pre-alpha, the art is nowhere near finished. They're still going to complain about it. And so I want to get a nice vertical slice done where there's some completed art. The game, the gameplay mechanics I'm focusing on are completed and stuff like that, and then show it off then. And then the plan is to put out a Steam page with a demo, and then to also do a Kickstarter. And the reason I'm raising money for the Kickstarter is so I can pay for a voice actor to do the more ball parts in voice acting. And also, I'd like to take my roommate Zabby, who does the coding, and instead of them working out part-time and doing the trade, I would really like to get them doing full-time working on the game. So that way they have money to live off of, but continue working on the game. Yeah, exactly. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. I mean, heck, I hear a lot, a lot of people saying the graphics in Stars Reach doesn't look that good. It's like, well, yeah, it's pre-alpha. Artwork for games doesn't get heavily worked on until beta. And, it's people who make comments like that, I know immediately would not survive well in being a game tester, because they can't handle unfinished graphics or low quality graphics. And when you're a beta tester, you're going to run into that a lot. For me, the way I view things, I want good gameplay mechanics first, then story, then graphics. I can play an 8-bit game. Not a problem whatsoever. As long as the gameplay mechanics are good. Story is the next thing. Game doesn't need to have a story. A pinball game doesn't have a story to it. An Uno game doesn't have a story to it. So the story isn't the big thing for me. It's always gameplay mechanic. Does the gameplay mechanics feel good? If yes, then I'm into the game. Yes, you are so right, Smokey. Perfect example there. It's about the atmosphere, the immersion. Does everything feel connected and feel the same and look fit in well together? Is it fun? Does it convey what it's trying to do? So if you're making a horror game, does the horror game scare a person? If you're making a romance game, does it make you feel romantic? If you're playing a casual relaxed game, is it making you feel relaxed and things like that? That's sort of what I'm doing with Marpingo. I have two forms that I'm doing. I'm doing the regular one that you saw there, which is just relaxed shooting, having fun, no real conflict to it, enjoy it. And I have a battle mode where the ball does not disappear off the field. It stays on the field when the next person shoots, because in the regular game, when you shoot, your ball disappears and no one else can interact with it or bump it. But in the battle mode, the ball is going to stay in the playfield. Other people can knock into it. But the person that's knocking you around has to pay attention to where they hit the ball, because everything you hit, every bumper you hit, every drop down you hit adds points to the person who's the owner of that ball. So like, for instance, if me, Sticky, and Smokey were playing a game together, and I hit Sticky's ball, and Sticky's ball hits a bumper, then a spinner, then a drop down, and then into another bumper, Sticky gets all those points. So in actuality, I may have messed up their shot and set them back further, but I also gave them a bunch of points, and they didn't take a stroke penalty or a shot to get those points. So they just got a bunch of free points. Also, the rollovers are going to have objects that will appear, cubes that will appear, that will give you random abilities to drop, like oil slicks, glue, landmines, speed up abilities, things like that you can choose to use. If it's an ability to use on a ball, you can choose to use it on yourself or use on an enemy. So if you get a slowdown and you're close to the final score and you're having a hard time hitting where you want to go, you could use the slowdown ability, which means that your ball is not going to move as far. It's going to be as less powerful and slower moving ball. Whereas you could also use, let's say you're at the beginning and you get a speed up ability. Your ball is going to travel further, and you could use that on yourself, or you could use that on the opponent as they're shooting, and they're not going to be aware that you use that ability on them. There's not going to be an indicator. And it's just sort of a way to surprise your opponents. Yeah, jump scares really isn't horror. You are right there. Jump scares. A jump scare is a different type of game. And, they have their place, but I don't fit them into horror. And we can get some endurance back here. But I mean, what do you guys think of the idea of both Smokey and Sticky? What do you guys think of the idea of changing that scoreboard to being like an actual banner that looks like the top of a pinball machine with artwork? Silent Hill is a good horror one. There are a few other good horror ones out there. But yeah, like Final Destination, the movie. That's not a horror movie to me. That is a jump scare movie. It has moments in there that are meant just to scare the shit out of you, and that's all that's there. Oh, I have the resources for it. I do all of the artwork. I'm working on getting myself a new tablet because I got a Huron tablet because it was like $300 and it's a graphics tablet. 4 months after using it, it broke down on me. And I was like, well, forget this. I'm going back to Wacom. Yeah, Wacom costs $600 for the same tablet or $700 for the same tablet. But I borrowed my friend's 10-year-old Cintiq tablet and borrowed it for 2 years and worked perfectly fine. I had to give it back to them because they moved to Iceland for a job. Yeah, gory isn't horror. Gory can be a part of horror, but gory can also be part of action. It can be, look at Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat is not a horror game, but has a lot of gore to it. Yeah. I agree with you there, Smokey. It's peanut butter and jelly. And the great thing is the reason it's called Marpingo is it's the Mar is from marble because the ball and the shooter are of marble based. Marble games and stuff like that, and then pin is from pinball, and then go is from golf. And that's how we came up with the Marpingo. God of War is sort of a mix between mythology and horror. It's a blend. Things like your Silent Hills, your Resident Evils, those are horror type video games. Yeah, but it's horror for kids. It's goofy horror. Because, Nintendo's all about doing stuff, that's kid friendly. I mean, Nintendo's really Disney for video games. Okay, there's that. Got that done. I need more endurance, so I'm going to pop that inspiration there. There we go. Now I'm going to wait and get endurance back. Yeah, so that's the interesting thing. Video games are a great way to ease someone else into another hobby, whether it's comic books, Warhammer 40,000, D&D. I've seen several people say, I never knew about Warhammer 40,000 or played Warhammer 40,000 or D&D, the actual original games, until I played such and such video game based off of it. Like people who played Dawn of War. They never knew about Warhammer 40,000 until Dawn of War, and then they played that video game, and they were like, wait, this is based off of a tabletop game? And then they took a look at the tabletop game, got into the tabletop game. People will play D&D the game, like Baldur's Gate 3, and go, I never played D&D. This is interesting. This is cool. And then they find out about the tabletop role-playing game, and they get into that and things like that. It's a great way to ease them in. Same with movies. People go and see the D&D movie, and they're like, ooh, this is interesting. And the next thing you know, they're going and getting D&D books. Missing. Ah, up there. Haven't used it in a while. Let's use it. It got that group. Oh yeah, Baldur's Gate 3 is a great game. True. But then you have, you know, different groups can do different times and stuff like that. Like I run my Friday night groups, of playing pen and paper role playing games, and we work out our schedule. Like we haven't done in the last couple of weeks because the holidays fell onto those close to those times, and people wanted to, of course, be with their families. There we go. Take these accuracies, convert them to enhancement. So let's go here. Back. Can't use that key. Nope, nothing to use there. So exit out here. Can't afford the tabletop, or like me, I can't spend the 4 to 8 hours standing at a table. My back would just be killing me. So that's where being able to play the video game makes things a lot easier. Because, Warhammer 40,000 and Warhammer are very time consuming games. Blood Bowl, on the other hand, not so time consuming. Kill Team, not so time consuming. But I'm not a big Warhammer 40,000 fan of the tabletop games anymore, because they've taken the stat blocks that they normally put into the rulebooks and they yanked them out of the rulebook. The main rulebook for like the basic Space Marine, the basic Imperial Guard, the basic Orc. They yanked them out of the main rulebook, and you have to buy these cards separately to get your stat blocks. It's all now just lore. Lore and basic rules. And I don't like that. I'm not going to spend, $50-$60 just for a basic lore book with 25% rules. If I'm buying a rule book, I want the majority of it to be about playing the game and to be able to play the game with just the rule book. Yeah, well, give it some time. A good Warhammer 40,000 video game could come out that could re-kickstart that. Look at what happened with Blood Bowl. With Blood Bowl, they had shelved the whole entire Blood Bowl line. We're doing nothing with the Blood Bowl board game. And then the Blood Bowl video games came out in the 2000s. And people were screaming that they wanted more the Blood Bowl game to come back. And there was so much demand that they started making the Blood Bowl games again. And to this day, they still make them and update them. Well, and that's the thing. In Warhammer 40,000 and Warhammer, you can have a group of friends that say, you know what, I'm not going to play 10th edition. I want to go back to 5th edition or 2nd edition and play that edition because I prefer it more. Or that group prefers it more. Warhammer has that option. Look at Warhammer Total War. Warhammer games are being made. Video games are being made. There is that option for them to bring back Warhammer if they chose to. That's the thing. They have to choose to bring it back. He just left me on my own. My jerk. There we go. I'm gonna wait and get my endurance up before I move on. Oh yeah, and that's the thing is players can go and play what they want. I remember in Warhammer 40,000 when they stopped doing the squats and players continued to play with their the squats and you know create their own adjustments with each new update. And now they brought them back, but they've changed them to the League of Voxtan or something like that. And they're basically just human clones that have been mutated some. Got him down. This corner be that one. Let's go ahead. Safety, we're gonna throw that on. Those on. There's level. Why does he keep running away like that? There we go. Got that one. I have this power up. I want to run up here. These guys up here. I did have them selected. Space pop. Never gonna let that go away, are you, Sticky? Let's wait and get endurance back. Starting to climb back up, so we'll head upstairs. Go in here real quick, do a quick look. Take a fight with this demon. There we go, that's down, but there's probably some guys up there. There's one guy up here. Let's get out of the fire. And down. Inspiration's full. Let's turn this. That. Demon did nothing wrong. Well, it depends. If it's in the control of me, you're right. If it's not, then you're wrong. Eh? Okay, we need to run over here. We got levels, so we get a new power. Talk to her. Train up. Train up. Ooh, nice. That toggle. It is. First thing I'm going to do. Here. Okay, nothing new there. Go exit. We need to find the science. That's the tailor. There's the science store. I'll just run. I feel like using some ninja run for a bit. I don't know. I think me and Hellboy would get along really, really well. I gotta agree with you. I like Voyager. I also like Deep Space Nine. I like them for two different, completely different reasons. I like Voyager because it keeps with the original premise of exploration. And it allows them to explore a whole entire new uncharted area. And I love that. I like Deep Space Nine because it deals with the space station and more the political side of things. And they had that whole entire Klingon war and dimension, the Dominion and stuff like that. That was really nice. This. Let's. Ooh, I know what I'm gonna do. It right there. Or five. 4. Two for those. Let's manage. One here. Those going. Next Generation is okay. It's not my favorite. Same with the Enterprise. I'm not a big Star Trek fan anymore for the pure simple fact that they keep on changing the looks of how the Klingons look continuously over and over and over again. And it's just like, how can you get involved with a faction when you keep on changing how that faction is? It's just sort of like, no, you got looking good, you got the history and stuff going good, and you keep reverting and reverting and reverting, and then the whole entire timeline reset and things like that. It's going the direction that the comic books went, where it's like, okay, let's reset everything because we've done pretty much every story and we need to re-rinse these stories again. So let's reset the timeline, reorganize what story happens when, type of things, and change the looks of things. It's just like, yeah, no. Yeah, exactly. And that's where I like things like Stargate. Stargate SG-1, Stargate Atlantis. Love both of those shows. Stargate Universe was okay. I'm waiting to see how the new Stargate show works. I also liked what was it? The Highlander series, both Highlander and Highlander Raven. A lot of people didn't like Highlander Raven for some reason because it wasn't a McLeod being done, and I think that's stupid. Yeah, I mean, it all depends if you're willing to, ignore plot holes because a lot of sci-fi and fiction and stuff like that, they always have a lot of plot holes. Yeah, and that can happen. I mean, I think they did Stargate SG-1 a little too long. Because it's like, oh, we've taken out and completed with the gold, and then they brought in the what was the race from the other galaxy, the Ori. And the Ori, to begin with, was a good story, but then it's just sort of, started going downhill. Missions. Oh no, we still got something to do here. Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that Firefly comes back. I'd love to see more in the Firefly universe. The Firefly universe was amazing. How Fox handled that was total shit. And that's executives. When they don't, an executive of any company, when they don't understand something, but they're overpowered on a decision, they do everything they possibly can to mess up what they don't understand. Instead of trying to understand it and wrap their heads around it, they're like, fuck it, I'm not going to use the brain power to figure this out. Because executives really don't have much brain power. They don't go to learn how a business functions. They just use what they're used to. A good example I have, where I live here on the West Coast, we had or still have a place called Fred Meyer's. And Fred Meyer's originally was known for being stocked so well that their cashiers and their staff would say, did you find everything you were looking for? Because they knew things were always in stock. Kroger's bought Fred Meyer's out when the family who ran the Fred Meyer's decided to retire and get rid of the business. When Kroger's bought it out, when you're buying your competition, instead of buying them to destroy them, what could make a business better is, okay, what made this business so good? What made things so well? For Fred Meyer's, it was their stocking and their friendliness to the customers. Take those aspects and blend them into your company to make your company stronger. Instead, these companies and these executives, they ignore what made the business so popular that they end up destroying the business. Video game companies do it all the time, especially EA. They ignore what made BioWare good. Good storytelling. Multiple choice options in storylines. And they pushed BioWare to push things out so quickly they weren't able to write those good stories. They weren't able to create all that good stuff. Where's BioWare now? Same thing with SimCity. Or, what was that? That was Maximus. Where's the newest SimCity? The newest Sims? It's nowhere because EA pushed so hard and pushed them to move so quickly and to cut so many things that they lost their process. Same with Westwood, who did Command and Conquer. Same thing happened there. Same thing happened with Origins, who did Ultima Online and stuff like that, and the Ultima series and the Wing Commander series. When was the last time we saw a Wing Commander or an Ultima series? So with you guys talking about the reboot of X-Files, I find that very interesting. I didn't even know that they were doing a reboot of the X-Files because I know that there was X-Files. I wasn't a big fan of it personally. It just wasn't my cup of tea. For what they did, it was good. It has a good fan following. That's great. And I know that they did the X-Files movie. Well, that's the thing. I think franchises like X-Files should really work to expand their universe. I mean, look at what Stargate did. Look at what Star Trek did. Look at what Star Wars does. They don't just focus on a couple characters. They all have gone and branched out and covered multiple different characters. And yet they're all still surviving. Some better than others. You know, one show I really like, Eureka. Have you guys seen the show Eureka? That was an amazing show. I loved the show for the comedy. The comedy aspects in Eureka were hilarious. That's the number one thing I liked about Eureka. Eureka was a good show I liked watching. I was constantly hooked on. Let's see, what was there? A Warehouse 13 is another good one. Oh yeah, there's times where it's like I haven't seen Eureka in a couple of years. I need to watch it again. Then I go watch Warehouse 13 because the two are interlinked. It's just like every so often I sit down and I watch the entire Highlander series, and then I go and watch Raven. Yeah, both are really good. They different aspects, like, you know, Warehouse 13 deals with that whole entire monster thing and odd artifacts and stuff like that, whereas Eureka is dealing with a town full of scientist geniuses that end up making mistakes, and then the sheriff has to go and clean up their mistakes. But what I think I'm going to do is I'm actually going to end the stream now. I need to go and rest my back and get ready because I got a busy week of researching to figure out how to replace some work on Marpingo with the new update and get that done. And that's going to take some time. Plus, I got some videos I need to work on. I got the video for Wednesday I'm working on. And then next Sunday's video, if you haven't seen this Sunday's video, I talk about a new power set idea for City of Heroes that I'm calling Illusionary Blast. Go check that out. It is a very interesting concept, and I think a lot of the different private servers could implement that. I want to thank you guys for your time and watching and hanging out, and have a great day.